The 127,000 BTC dispute, fraud proceeds or mining pool theft. Flint West reporting. You ever see $15 billion sitting in one place? No, you haven't. Because $15 billion doesn't sit. It hums. It vibrates. It bends the air around it like heat coming off a desert highway. That's what 127,000 Bitcoin is worth at today's prices. A dragon's hoard so massive it could move markets, topple ministers, fund a moon colony, or crash an economy if you dropped it in the wrong pool. Most fortunes live in vaults or spreadsheets. This one lived inside a handful of private keys. A digital crown jewel floating in the dark, unclaimed and unguarded, until two superpowers decided it belonged to them. And that's when the story stops being about money and starts being about everything else. Let me tell you a story, kid. The kind they don't teach in finance school because the syllabus can't handle this much smoke. Picture a vault so big it doesn't fit in any country. Not in Cambodia, not in China, not in the United States. A vault made of math, not steel. 127,000 Bitcoin, give or take a rounding error. A digital dragon hoard, sitting quiet until the global superpowers realized what it was worth. And that's when the knives came out. Act 1. The DOJ arrives with receipts. The U.S. steps onto the stage with the swagger of a sheriff kicking open the saloon doors. They say, "We didn't stumble on this stash, we tracked it. This isn't treasure. This is toxic waste from a pig butchering machine that chewed through Americans." They've got diagrams, indictments, charts, flow of funds analysis, even a moral arc bending toward justice. And every arrow on the map points to Chen Zhi. Cambodian real estate king by day, overseer of forced labor scam farms by night. The DOJ story is clean. The mining operation wasn't a business. It was a laundry machine running warm cycle with stolen hopes and broken passwords. If those rigs ever mined a coin, the electricity was paid for with somebody else's retirement savings. From the American vantage point, this isn't geopolitics. This is housekeeping. Act 2. Beijing enters with a counterspell. Then, China stands up with its own narrative, crisp and cold like a steel ruler. They say, "Hold on, those coins weren't criminal proceeds. They were ours. Legit mining pool reserves stolen in a 2020 cyber attack we think you pulled off." They take the same 127,000 BTC and flip the frame. Not loot laundered from scam victims, but national wealth vaporized by a state-level hacker wearing Langley's cologne. A theft disguised as justice. A seizure retrofitted with legal paperwork. A geopolitical pickpocket routine. Depending on which flag you salute, it sounds either paranoid or prophetic. Act 3. The key that really matters. Here's the twist that everyone misses. This whole drama doesn't hinge on how the US got the private keys. They could have seized them before indicting, after indicting, during halftime. Legally, it barely moves the needle. The only question that matters is the source. If the mining operation was built with stolen funds, then every coin it ever touched is radioactive, legally forfeitable, morally indefensible. If the mining operation was legit, then the US is squatting on someone else's treasure chest and pretending it's evidence. That's the battlefield. Not crypto, not hacking, not sovereignty. Source of funds. It's always the source. Follow the money, and you'll find the truth, or whatever truth survives the centrifuge of geopolitics. Act 4. Flint's final word. What we're witnessing isn't a crime story. It's a custody battle between empires over a digital fortune too large to ignore. A fortune that can't be blown up, can't be counterfeited, can't be hidden in a warehouse behind a tarp. Bitcoin sits out in the open like a spotlight on global hypocrisy. And that's why this case is so dangerous. Both superpowers can't be right. One is lying. One is laundering the narrative. One is running a cover story the size of a continent. But both want the same thing, control of the dragon hoard. And in the end, kid, there's a rule I always keep in the back of my notebook. When 127,000 Bitcoin goes missing, nobody's innocent. They're just better at telling stories. Flint West, signing off.